I occasionally get distressed by comments I read or hear related to dating. I have a fear of missing out, FOMO. I have already missed out on a lot since I am 22 with no dating experience and little social experience. How did I end up like this? Why didn't I hang out with friends in high school? Why didn't I have a social life? The normal thing to do is to stop and think, hey, there is something wrong here. Why don't you have a social life? It is very important to have one. You need to examine yourself and make a serious, deliberate effort to change your situation. Did I avoid the elephant in the room? I don't know what went wrong. Besides the loneliness, I also have these horrible memories that I find so embarrassing. I cringed every time I remember them. In some ways I find myself embarrassing, in other ways I think I am great, so it's not all bad. Later on in college I put some effort into it, but I didn't even know what I was doing, so I ended up with a group of friends that I met with to get drunk and go to clubs together. They were good guys, to be honest, but that was mainly what I did with them. I realized college was not for me and dropped out. I spent a few months not knowing what to do, but now I can say I have a solid plan for my life and I am genuinely excited for that. So here I am now, stuck at home, feeling like a loser and like I wasted so many great years, although excited for the future and with a sense of direction. How do you deal with your feelings? Feelings of shame, fear of missing out, feeling like you wasted so many great years of your life, envy, being anxious and insecure. Don't want to sound like a hippie here, but have you tried meditation? I feel like it's gotten a bad rep because of all the weird new age religion people try to tie to it, but at its core it's just a really good way to figure out your own feelings, where exactly they stem from, and calm yourself down, or energize, depending on which meditative practice you choose. It's a bit like therapy, but you're your own therapist. I think it could benefit you based on what you've said here, and it's harmless and doesn't require you to buy anything, so there's really no downsides to trying it out a couple of times and seeing if it might help you. It was what saved me from femceldom and got me out of my eating disorder. It's genuinely a very helpful practice. I like to read a lot, so I started with theory-based books about meditation until I understood what I was doing. Then I moved on to doing mostly breath work. My favorite breathing exercise, personally, is Ujjayi breathing. A big thing is relinquishing control of your thoughts and realizing 1, you are not your thoughts, and 2, you often have very little control over your thoughts and emotions. As I understand it, you're not supposed to push away your thoughts, you're supposed to recognize that they're like a cloud and will float through, dissipate, and transform as they please. You begin to realize in equal parts that tightly grasping to good thoughts and memories is both damaging to your enjoyment of them and impossible to maintain successfully. In the same way, bad thoughts may come and you can't just force them to go away. You can try to adjust how you see it, or you can just acknowledge that those thoughts and feelings are there and refocus on your breathing, and the thoughts should go on their own. My meditation teacher told us that trying to force away a bad thought is like telling yourself, don't think of a purple meerkat. Whatever you do, don't think of a purple meerkat. It's completely counterproductive. Instead, you just let it go, look for other thoughts or focus on your breath, and soon enough the one thought you didn't want will be gone on its own. For me, the most helpful thing has been being able to stop dwelling on all the negative shit instead of stewing for days and having sad boy hours. I'm able to recognize that I can respond however I choose to thoughts and can choose not to let them affect me. I can detach myself from thoughts and realize that a lot of them aren't even mine, it's just stuff that's been said to me by others. Not ruminating for so long on everything negative is the biggest perk. I didn't have that normal high school experience either. I didn't date, I had few friends, and I mostly hung out by myself. A lot of dealing with those feelings is accepting that there's no right or wrong way to have a social life and you didn't fail some rite of passage. Then, look at the stuff you do regret, the things you wish you did. It's not too late to experience those things, you're quite literally never too old. If you can't figure out how to live the kind of life you want, try talking to a therapist about it. If you have a specific problem you're working through, most therapists, especially university ones, will meet with you just the few times it takes to solve whatever you need help with. I've been there where you are and recovered from it. The problem is that you are judging yourself relentlessly. You have high expectations and you need to stop having expectations entirely. Learn to relax and let go. Live and let live. You can achieve a lot more when you don't have this asshole inner voice criticizing you all the time. Work on your self-esteem. There are loads of books that can help you. I've also been there and I'll try to elaborate on what I think they mean by let go. I've sort of removed myself from the person I was in high school and before. I have this philosophy that every few years I upgrade into someone smarter and wiser, and the person I was before is history. So when I remember embarrassing, cringy things I've done, I can remind myself, well, that's not you anymore. You would never do what she did. So in short, let go of the past because you are no longer that person. I stopped judging and forgave myself. I gave up on expectations. I think I know what you mean by that, but shouldn't we strive to be better people? That's a goal. Goals are great. The problem is when you require yourself to succeed. You will then naturally criticize yourself for failing. Goal, the object of a person's ambition or effort. An aim or desired result. Expectation, a belief that someone will or should achieve something. There's really no point in torturing yourself over things you can't change anymore. Everyone has regrets and most people have moments in their lives that keep them up at night because of embarrassment or cringe. Shake all that off. Don't dwell on it. Learn from your mistakes and then move on. When you start spiraling, just take a deep breath, realize what you're doing and then make the decision to set it behind you. You have a plan on how you want to improve. Even during isolation times, is there something you can actively work on? Even just reading interesting books, engaging in politics, learning something new, etc. Just to keep you sharp and ready for when you can make your next move. Teen years are the most awkward, but it's normal to mourn your childhood youth. You're an adult now, really young one, so you've got a hell of a lot more living to do. Don't let your self-doubts ruin that opportunity. I just want the OP to know that it is normal to struggle with this stuff. I know that, when I was younger, I would get caught in these cognitive traps, where I felt bad, and then I felt bad about feeling bad, and so on. To get better, it's kind of a dance inside your own head. On the one hand, you want to improve. On the other, you don't want to get so judgmental about slow improvement that you just get worse. On the third hand, you don't want to get too comfortable with slacking. On the fourth hand, sometimes the best you can do is slack. There are infinite on the other hands. Like I said, a dance. Now dance away, brother. If you need more input, stick around. I'll wait for you.